After playing this save file for over 100 days in game and nearly 20 episodes later, I've learned that the world we created for ourselves in the Kenshi gang series is far from a dream come true. In fact, if I was to compare it to anything, it's more close to a literal nightmare. After numerous months of playing, you would think, now we're strong and we got stuff set up, but we've had like nearly a dozen gangsters die in the heat of battle. You see, Garus in my game, they are stupid broken and hit for 400 damage. And I don't know why this is. I have a conspiracy, but I'm not sure if it's true. I think I used to have a mod that made animals stronger, but I can't find that mod anymore anywhere on my list, and I've looked for it like on every single mod I have. So what I think what happened was it was deleted from the Steam workshop, but now I'm stuck in a nightmare game state that's left with these like stupid strong Garus. So that basically means any hostile caravan that we run into, like a simple trader pack, is basically a complete party wipe. Fear not though, as in the last episode, we set up this strength training maze. That way we could train up all of our strength levels just a little bit more efficiently. As you can see, there's a bunch of rows set up, so with the Kenshi pathfinding system, we're able to make the gangsters run through the course and then run back to the start. B01 is currently training his levels up as he aims to get closer to 100 strength level. Right now he's only at level 72 strength, and seeing as Kenshi has a similar XP curve as RuneScape, where it's pretty easy to level up until the first 50 levels, and then after that it's just a complete grind in a hell. I'm pretty certain Kenshi like has the exact same XP model. Other than all of that, we're still constantly getting attacked by Sheks as well as dust bandits, so there's never a dull moment living in Bad Guy City. There's either always something fun to do or something to run away from. I spent most of the early hours of day 130 managing different characters to train until a dust bandit showed up at our gate. Beep, our martial artist with chainsaw arms, of course went to go handle them as he usually does, but he was getting fucked up, bro. Like, not a single chance to attack here. He's constantly rolling back and forth and getting shot with arrows. This is fucking rough to watch.
Joking! Stop the brake! Stop!
Funny Kenshi gameplay 2023 right here, guys. Once the other gangsters arrived, Beep was able to get a hold of himself and start dropping dust bandits. I mean, like, look at this front kick that he pulled off, which sent the enemy backwards. Like, what the fuck? Meanwhile, I noticed a caravan from the Traders Guild ended up getting stuck in our maze, and oh no, this isn't good. You see, right now we're at war with the Traders Guild because we attacked that one Manhunter town, so there's like 4 to 5 Garus that might as well be fucking crimpers. In an attempt to save the lives of our gangs, I saved and then reloaded squad positions, and that didn't fix anything. The Trader Guild was still in there on their way to fuck up the entire future of my series. So I decided I would not put up with this. I was not going to have everybody die because there's like 4 Garus there. I would instead exploit the game, and I would do this by reloading the save game, but this time we're going to do an import, which is going to despawn the local NPCs. On top of that, I was considering resetting our relationships, but I don't really want to do that. I mean, maybe one day we'll have to, but I think I can just swag my way onto the end game. Even if like half of the game's factions hate us, I feel like it's going to be more fun that way anyways. Alright, no one said being a gangster would be easy. If you want to join a gang, you gotta get your ass beat. At least in my gang you do. So after reloading, I realized that the game spawned everyone next to the hub, which is toxic. I mean, it's not that far away from Bad Guy City, but it's a major pain. I guess it's fair after all. I mean, I did cheat in order to save our gang from becoming meals to the Garus, but that's fine. That's just my karma. I'll take it and then head back home with everybody here. By the time we get back to Bad Guy City, all of the enemies or the people from the Traders Guild should have despawned. And even though it wasn't that far, managing 30 gangsters at once was a nightmare. Like, I haven't done this in a long time. It's much easier just to keep track of like 7 to a dozen characters opposed to multiple dozens. Once you get multiple dozens, people don't know what to do, they don't know where to run, the pathfinding breaks, it's just a nightmare. It would be in the middle of the night that the gang was stopped by some dust bandits, but that wouldn't be the hard part. The hard part was the Traders Guild finding us and sending a fucking Garu. Are you kidding, bro? I reloaded the squad positions exactly for this reason, and in an instant, both Cena and Grave Odd got fucking killed. 2 of our gang members. I was like, oh my god, this is crazy, bro. I would have reloaded, but in real life, Gray and Cena are like a couple. So them dying at the same time in the series due to Garu was like way too much of a coincidence for me to like delete and not let be in the series. We ended up taking down the Garu after that as well, so they sacrificed themselves so that the gang could kill the Garu. And I guess it's fair, I mean I did reset squad position so we could get away from Garus, and Garu still found us, so I guess that's the true karma. It's just crazy how he killed both of them out of everyone. I mean, I'm sure we're gonna watch this episode and find that either really romantic or disturbing, but you know what, no matter what, I'm creating emotions. I don't give a fuck. I'm here for the story. I'm leaving their deaths in. R.I.P. Cena and Gray. See you guys on Discord. I also came to the realization that at this point in the series, like, that's half of our recruits that we got from the one episode that I did. I made an entire Kenshi Gang episode about recruiting subscribers and turning them into Kenshi characters. And then here I am a few episodes later and they're all fucking dying. Like and subscribe, everyone. Remember, you'll never find another content creator like me. I fucking promise that. By 7 a.m. of day 131, the gang finally arrived back home. Thank Okran. We're now a little bit more safe. I mean, not a lot, because the base isn't set up for defensive measures. Fuck, it's barely livable, like one health and safety inspection away from being shut down. But I didn't want to fix that, okay? I wanted to do something cool this episode. I sat here and put turrets all around the base and stuff. You guys would be like, Croc, that episode fucking blowed. So I came up with a different plan. Since we have a CPU unit, and I'm busy fucking around leveling up B01 strength and doing other training around the base, I decided it was the perfect time to send Cat over to Mongrel. That way he could try to recruit Waldo. If you haven't watched the other episodes of the series, this is kind of a rundown up to this point. There's this skeleton animal that I got from a mod, and I really want to recruit him. He looks cool as hell. But he's always making my life a nightmare by either not joining me, or I'm stuck looking around the town for him like an interactive game of Where's Waldo. It's just whack. I'm really tired of it, like everyone else is too. It's time to recruit this guy into the gang, but you know, sure enough, a Walker 40 or Waldo needs a special CPU unit to be fixed. You can't use a normal one. Like, fuck me, man. God damn it. I mean, Okran, damn it. Like, it's literally gonna take us 40 episodes for me to recruit him. This is like episode 20, bro. I found him on like episode 6. One day, my son, Theodore, he's gonna grow up and he's gonna be making videos and continuing the gang series and trying to recruit this fucking guy, man. What a joke. We'll have to come back again one day when we're able to put a special CPU unit in him and, you know, save my son a livelihood of playing this goddamn save file. On the bright side, by morning time of day 132, we almost have the entire maze complete. B01 is able to do his strength training laps without being attacked, and in all, this will be a great addition to our gang. Unlike that guy Waldo. Fucking racist piece of shit. Yeah, I'm kidding. Waldo isn't racist. Anyways, Cat's gonna be making his way back to Bad Guy City because that kind of didn't work. Meanwhile, I was still chilling, waiting for the inevitable Dust Bandit raids to arrive so I could stop them. I really don't like the Dust Bandits or the Sheks getting inside of the gates. You know, I'm not worried about anyone getting hurt. It's just they die and then they drop their fucking boots everywhere. You know, outside of a gate just usually looks like this, and it's insane. I put a community post up too, and you fucking assholes, you guys, everybody in the comment section making fucking Canadian puns, a boot, fucking people. Alright, I don't want all these a boot comments, so I try to kill them outside of a gate. Spent a day or so getting everybody to train up, and I was micromanaging the base a lot. My main goal during this was to get an automatic way of having B01 strength train in the maze. Right now, I basically have to click back and forth every like 2 to 3 minutes, which is not fun. But my idea is essentially if we can like make a job that B01 would continuously go do and then dump the stockpile, then we could set up a point and B01 would essentially be able to go back and forth from the first point and the second point. I built this well at the end of a course, and then I built water tanks at the start of it. This, in theory, would allow B01 to go back and forth automatically while doing the job. You know, he would pick up the water from the well and then bring it to the water tanks. I kept training manually for a day or so until I realized nobody was building the well or the walls now. I think this is because the maze is so big and ridiculous, the game just doesn't know what to do with it. Maybe the game has a limit of space that you can have for towns and I exceeded it or something, but either way, it's a pain in the ass because we're gonna have to manually build the rest of the walls. I would just leave them like that, but we gotta look at this for the rest of the playthrough, so I gotta do a little bit better than that for you guys. It was frustrating because I had someone run the maze and build the well And then I learned that the well didn't fucking work. No water was being pumped into the well, so I needed to narrow this down, and I tried to figure out what it was. It came up with, well, maybe there's no power around this part of a map. Maybe the power that's generated in Bad Guy City is cut off at a certain limit, so I'm gonna have to figure out something else. But, to a surprise turn of events, a group of cannibals arrived at Bad Guy City. I was like genuinely in shock, like, what? A faction other than the Shack Bastards or the Dust Bitches? Oh my, oh Cran, thank you, my lord, for sending cannibals to me door. What a pleasant surprise thee have bestowed upon me. Now the cannibals are super weak, so it's no problem taking them down, and really it was kind of refreshing to see a different faction in the game attack us for once. I really like doing this continuous kind of let's play gameplay series thing, but you know, it does get boring for me and everyone when we're fighting the same guys every time. But I never thought I'd be happy to have cannibals like outside of my home, but like here I am. Kenshi is a fucked up world. The next day, on day 136, a cannibal general or captain or some kind of guy, Mighty Canhead was his name, Mighty Canhead showed up and he looked pretty serious. He had an entire army of cannibals with him, so Beep ran up and gave him a Superman chainsaw punch. Everybody was fighting. In fact, you know, one could say that everybody was kung fu fighting. A majority of the cannibals all went down pretty fast, with 10 Head taking the longest to knock out. But when he did eventually get knocked down, he had all of his amazing loot for us to steal. I really wish the cannibals came by more often. They seem pretty cool. It's day 137 and everybody's swagged up. B01 has gained almost 10 levels since the start of this episode, proving that the maze is an awesome and effective method to train with. Now, we didn't do a whole lot else in this episode, so I wanted to go on an adventure. Last time we did this, we tried to go to the Leviathan coast, and I kind of got stopped in a Shrieking Forest, so this time, we're gonna have to go to Obedience. It's a really high-level area of the game, but we haven't been there yet, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to explore it. I figured, you know, as well as, you guys would probably like that a bit more than a 5th Shrieking Bandit episode. So, we are off. Our gangster explorers, along with our boy Ribbit the Swamp Frog, were traveling through the border zone, up through Vane, and then through the Fog Islands in order to arrive at Obedience. The gang had a long way to go, and midway through Vane, the gang spotted what seemed to be a small village. I mean, this is pretty odd. I'd never seen this village before, so I decided to check it out. Once they arrived at the outpost, they figured out that it was ran by one person, and she was named West Dragon. She gives the gang some good travel advice on where to go and where not to go, and B01 asks her more about her backstory. And her father would essentially beat West Dragon and her mother all the time. Said that like fucking Chill's, you know. Let me try to do full Chill's voice just for this part, okay? Alright, run with me on this. Number 1, West Dragon. West Dragon was once the daughter of an Okran farmer, and her father would beat West Dragon and her mother. On top of this, she had her tongue split at the end due to some kind of religious belief, making her look like a guy trying to be cool in 2007. One day, she would beat him up, and she was outlawed and then named a bounty ever since. She says for 40,000 cats, we can recruit... Okay, I'm gonna stop. She says for 40,000 cats, we can recruit her. That way we can transfer the money to the outlaws for food and weapons. 40,000 cats, I mean, it sounds like a lot to most people, but you guys know me, we're rich, like, we got like 8 Bugattis. So of course, you know, I paid the fee right away and recruited West Dragon into the gang. With that done, the gang would continue to travel, making their way all the way to Obedience. Meanwhile, at Bad Guy City, we finally got the windmill up and running, but still, no water was going through the well. Honestly, I chose the absolute worst spot in the game to make a base. Like, I remember in the Let's Struggle Season 2, everybody would ask me, like, almost every episode, "Oh, Croc, what part of a map is that? What part did you put your base in? That looks really good." But Bad Guy City, no one, not a soul, not a single soul has asked where this place is. If anyone did or does ask me where I put my base, it's out of caution to stay the fuck away from it. This is an awful dog shit part of a map, bro. You do not want to live here. But at least the gang were doing good. They were traveling through the Fog Islands, and they found a base that belonged to the Fogmen, to which they could get close to it and begin to slaughter every blue-headed fuck that was there. The Fogmen eat people, so we don't have to feel bad about raiding this village at all. On top of that, we found the Fog King, a strong 40,000 cat bounty, who was the king of the Fogmen. Even though he was a king, our gang easily took down all of his troops, and then him soloed, allowing us to look at all of his gear and take it, plus remove his head off of his body, which is worth 12,000 cats alone. The gang would then look around the base, but there really wasn't much here. I mean, some random raw materials and some pieces of ass fluff, but nothing of interest. The gang would then heal up and begin to head out on their way. Now that they have a Fog King over B01's shoulders, they could now run over to Mongrel, that way he could turn in the bounty. I looked at the bounty and it seemed like Mongrel wasn't on the list for it, but I thought, you know, well, Mongrel's got to be affiliated with someone, or they got a police station there, so I should bring him there. I'm certain they would pay 40k bounty for the Fog King, but no. You actually have to bring the Fog King out of Mongrel and to one of the 3 kingdoms in order to get the rewards. I do not think this is a me problem, okay? This is a Kenshi problem. This is going to be like a little grind my gears segment, okay? In Kenshi 2, wacky shit like this better not be existing, bro. Like, it makes no sense, man. Mongrel are literally the only people affected by the Fogmen. Every single, all the other kingdoms, nobody lives in Mongrel. Nobody else is affected by them because they don't gotta go to Mongrel. You don't see Holy Nation or Shek Patrols or anyone else in Mongrel other than the ninjas and the people that live in Mongrel. They're nowhere near them. And Mongrel is constantly repressed by the Fogmen. How the fuck do they not even have 10,000 on his head? There's no way people can say, oh, they're broke. Like, they have plenty of weapons and stores and stuff there. This is just bad world building in my opinion, but, you know, oh well, I'll let you guys decide that. I'll just have to send B01 back to the group and bring the Fog King into a major town after we do our obedience adventure. They were now in the land of hands and happy endings. I'm kidding, of course. Obedience is not known for happy endings. Obedience is known as the place that the old empire sent the giant behemoth skeletons in order to get rid of them and essentially send them to death. The skeletons believe them because they're so like naive and programmed and just listen to humans and whatnot, and humans were basically scared of them. So we're currently walking on a giant skeleton graveyard, and going deeper and deeper inside of Obedience, we could find a gang of mist fiends hanging out in a camp. There were so many bones around our camp. I mean, it was obvious that they had killed lots of travelers and had likely controlled this area for maybe hundreds, if not thousands of years. Instead of trying to fight all of them at once, since the mist fiends are really strong, I pulled half of a group and then started fighting them. A lot of her stats, like toughness, go well over the normal 100 toughness stat that's placed on normal characters. Along with that, they have a very high health stat, like even more health than a lot of skeletons do in the game. So they're one of the strongest humanoid monster hybrids that we can find, really. The gang would gang up on the creatures, breaking their arms and eventually dropping each of the mist fiends. While the gang was able to win there are still more enemies around the area, and everyone endured serious injuries just from that battle. There is a nearby ruin, so I decided that the group would travel there and try to find some treasures or research books before heading back. Inside the ruin, there weren't any people or factions, but instead there were security spiders that activated once we stepped inside. They likely belonged to the old empire thousands of years ago, but now they belong to the ground as they'll rust and decompose into the building. Well, really they'll despawn, but I'm trying to be immersive, so let's not think like that. We had also taken a mist creature from the camp, and whoever was carrying him got knocked out, so we had to fight that guy again along with the spiders. But after pushing through, we were able to kill all the enemies and pick back up our mist fiend. Now it was looting time. There were lots of chests and boxes around here to search. We'll find lots of expensive items like CPU units, copper plates, even about a dozen ancient science books along with some other high tier items. This trip was really worth it. We successfully ransacked the ruins and destroyed an entire mist fiend camp. With there being even more of the monsters wandering around, I knew this was time for us to pack our bags and head back to Bad Guy City. And with that, it brings us to the end of this episode. I got a few things to let you guys know. We're almost at 6,000 subs, or maybe we're already at that by the time this video is uploaded. So I really wanted to thank everyone. The channel has been doing insane. Like, it blew up twice the size in about 4 months. I've been doing pretty pretty good with uploads. We've been able to do about 4 to 8 a month, along with shorts to complement in between the days that I'm not uploading or online. This episode took a long time to come out just because everything's been so busy recently. I know that sounds like cliche, like, oh, everybody's busy, every YouTuber is busy. But really though, these videos take a lot of time to make. Along with that, I'm also working full-time and I'm starting up a video production business that's integrated with Cool Kid Croc. So I apologize that this episode took a month to come out, but just know, like, in the future I'm gonna have like a longer video talking about things and future plans or like a roadmap for the channel. Along with that, we're probably doing a PC build either at the end of next month or for June. I want to get it in before summer, so I'll be like making sure that I let everybody know like weeks in advance before we get it. That way we can hype it up, maybe do a live stream and then a video out of it. Either way though, I might try and do another Kenshi series soon, or a side series for a little break from this one, just so I can try out a few new ideas and then come back or still continue this one. I don't plan to end the gang series anytime soon. I plan to carry it for quite some time. But yeah, there's so many ideas for Kenshi and so many types of videos I want to do. The last 2 videos I did that were not gang videos did really well, but just know I'm still going to be focusing on sharing these gameplay adventures with you guys. That's kind of why I'm here anyways, you know, to share these adventures with somebody. So like the video, turn on notifications, light candles in a circle, and chant my name backwards. That way you can help me grow my channel. And with that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.